All right, so today's video, we have a Plat 3 support on PC, playing Juno, and this is going to be an interesting one. And we're starting off with actually a map we don't play a lot of, Flashpoint, or spectate a lot of. I play a lot of Flashpoint. They say, first off, I hate Flashpoint, respectfully. This was comp with my husband on the other support and our 13-year-old son on tank, while my 2-year-old was physically climbing me IRL. So yes, my positioning, questionable. My sense of direction after the spawn swaps, non-existent. I backed up into Narnia at least twice. Apparently, the enemy Ramatra was farming my other support while I was sightseeing across the map. Love that for us. I'm trying to figure out, when do I off-angle? When do I play bodyguard for my co-support? When do I babysit my tank? When do I not get lost after a spawn flip? Also, my husband swears I take the advice better if it came from emongg. What the heck? No, I'm just kidding. He says, I get defensive when he critiques me. I say I'm passionate. Same thing, right? So really, this VOD review would be educational, chaotic, mildly embarrassing, and possibly marriage-saving. Well, that's a lot of responsibility here. 10 out of 10, I would love a VOD review. I'd figured I'd let you roast me instead. The heck, dude? I got a lot of responsibility right here. This is... I don't know if I want all this responsibility. What the heck, dude? Although I will say, it's always good to get different perspectives sometimes, because like, it can help. So we'll see. Here we go. All right, we got Flashpoint. I'm ready. Everybody's standing still, waiting. Save their marriage. Listen, that's not... Okay, step one. You can use your movement ability to get to your teammates quicker. There you go. Okay, you're fine now. All right. Let's watch this. Go watch it. Okay. Speed ring. So far, totally fine, I'd say. So far, everything's fine. I don't have any issue with that outside of maybe not using your shift out of spawn. You can also go into the air more with that shift, too. Yeah, good start. All right, here we go. Looper, thanks for the 17 months of the Prime, so thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Okay. So, I mean, so far, like, everything's fine outside of you, like, not looking at your tank the whole time, but, like, again, which other support running? Yeah, I mean, you could be fine either way. Big slam! Yeah, I mean, that was just an ambitious shatter, if you want to be real with you. So what needs to happen in those situations, by the way, even though, like, your team's going to lose this team fight, you just got to, like, all kind of be together and make a one singular play. Normally, I'm okay with off angles and stuff, but, like, in that situation, you have basically an isolated 5v4 with a free shatter, and the team just kind of gets all over the place. That felt like a weird, like, team effort one where everybody was trying to do different things, but all you really needed to do was just go take the slam dunk shatter, and then that's it, right? So, I just feel like everybody overthought that one, and then it turned into what it was. So, that's a team effort. Be more proactive in that situation and just win the team fight. Yep. Okay, you got out. Good use of movement. Okay, so you could have popped your ult there, but I wonder if it's not as worth anymore now that the tank can apply the 30% healing reduction on you. That's hard to call. Because how much does Juno ult heal for? Teammate gets picked off on their side, sorry, on the other team. I get so confused with these damn, like, replay viewer bugs. Yeah, okay, so I think you're going to win the team fight? Yes, you are. All right. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, like, the first team fight was pretty normal. I would recommend helping your team and all that, but yeah, you're good. So, I don't know. Just to give you an idea, like, the first point, you didn't really do anything, like, really anything inherently wrong for first point. I mean, outside of the one team fight where everybody split, that was like a team effort. Nothing really too bad. The only thing I would have maybe done there is I would have popped Juno Ultimate to win the initial team fight. But again, if we just go back and look at it, like, you won the team fight, so it doesn't matter. So you don't need it anyway. So it's like, so far so good for the most part, I guess, yeah. Rank is it Plat? Okay, go to the right. Speed ring across. There you go. Your Hanzo can just let your Hanzo do what your Hanzo's got to do. I had to sneeze. 1 second. Okay. Keep watching. Good clearing out by your team here. Big slam alert. Love to see it. Good job. Love that y'all took like advantage of that rotation. I want to point something out, by the way, about Flashpoint. And I actually don't get many Flashpoint submissions because the maps are not the longest. But one thing I do want to point out here from what I just watched, like at least from my perspective, your team did a really good job right there. Sometimes people whenever I watch, gold or plat, etc., there isn't a lot of like off the point team fighting that happens. So your team actually going for that off like angle and like, your son's on Ryan going over there and taking the map control in the space and cleaning that team fight up is actually a pretty good way to play Flashpoint. It's a way to give yourself like an early 20, 30, 40% lead sometimes. So yeah, I just wanted to point that out. That was just well played by your team. I would get back to your team now. You don't need to 1v1 the Freya. I think you now recognize that. You do have a movement ability that you can use to get out of those situations too. So yeah, so good start. I would like to see listen, I think you should do a proactive Juno ultimate here, but I also want you to make sure you time your speed ring with it so your Ryan can benefit even more. So in 7 seconds, I want you to just launch your ultimate and speed ring. Yep. You're getting a little bit distracted there by the angle. You gotta okay. Yeah, so okay, we gotta talk about this. This is the part I want to talk about already. You don't want them to set up, right? So like if you give them any opportunity to set up, and keep in mind you let a Ramatra walk all the way over here and be able to go on like a weird angle and then cause problems, just launch the ultimate when they're about here. Don't give them any rotation. If you pop your ultimate, now your team's at the advantage. But you wanted to use it defensively, and I just don't think that's the right way to use Juno ultimate most of the time. Of course, you're going to have to use it defensively sometimes, right? But I feel like this is where Juno's ultimate gets the value, right? Is these type of chokes, right? Because the ultimate is about as slow as it can possibly be for an ultimate. Like, if you hit W once, you're probably ahead of it. So, like, these small chokes is a great opportunity. So, like, you kind of just threw it this way and it goes through the wall that way. Imagine they're right here, right? Right here at this choke. See this area? They're right here. And then you pop your ultimate here. Now your teammates all the way to here are going to get the full assistance of a Juno ultimate. Instead, you let them rotate, do whatever they got to do, and then you just use, like, a very, like, kind of not the best placed Juno ultimate, and then that's the team fight. That's it. So, a little bit more proactive in those situations, I think. So, you said you were worried they fixed the kill feed bug? Oh, I know. I'm glad they kept it in. So anyway, I hope that's helpful. Either way, somehow your teammates clutched this. Don't ask me how. Your team clutched it, so good job by the team. I gotta say, your gameplay thus far, outside of the ultimate, even with your rotations, everything's been fine. But if this is a longer Flashpoint game, then something goes wrong here. Chat, what perk do you like on Juno? I sometimes don't get the machine gun one, but I think it's good for, like, healing your tank, right? Or, like, somebody really quickly. Maybe with the headshots it's better. I like the triple jump one better for, like, mobility, but I can see why you would want the machine gun one. It's probably one of the few heroes that has, like, a good, like, back and forth perk selection of, like, it's a tough choice, right? So, yeah. I was just wondering. Yeah. Yeah, I like triple jump too. I agree. But I can see both being fine, depending on, like, what your play style is. That's just on your, I don't know, your teammate. Yeah. They just had a good Mizuki ult. You're fine. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Sometimes you just lose team fights, by the way. It just happens. If there's one bit of advice I can give to you and your husband and your kid is just remember to be a little bit more proactive at these chokes. Like, be a little bit more, deny that space. Because, like, right there, for example, like, when you're just sitting on the point, like, right here, and you're not denying this choke, giving the player the opportunity to get here. You go, well, yeah, like, this is still a choke. But once they start to get here, and this is where the problem, like, starts to happen, all it takes is one person going here to ruin your whole day on that team fight, right? You want to be able to take the team fight in here and to basically make it so they can't get through this choke. Because if you play here and somebody takes an off angle, that's it. Like, right? Like, that is where you're going to run into an issue. And in fact, I think somebody came through this doorway and did that because you had to back up. So I just want to, you know what I mean? Like, make sure you get aggressive here and deny, like, this part of the map, okay? Okay. Okay, we call this tunnel vision. There is no reason for you to take that duel at that point. Like, literally no reason to take that duel. I know you're trying to go for the Ana, but I think what you need to do is actually recognize that the positioning of you is not going to be good because their whole team's here. You want to go more where your team's at. You basically just isolated yourself by yourself in a 1v1. And I also want to point out to you, Mizuki's back here. Ryan's right here. Hanzo's right here. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, why is this team fight even happening the way that it is when everybody's all over the place? It felt like y'all were playing very good as a core, and then you're like, you know what? What if we just took individual 1v1s? Let's do that. You just went away from what was working and decided to take isolated 1v1s. Now, granted, I will say, it was mentioned that, you know, the 2-year-old might be distracting a little bit for you on that one. Like, what did you say? They were climbing you? So, I can't relate to that, so I imagine that's probably makes things a bit more difficult at times. Like, you're like, oh, well, I can't see now. I can speak for my cats. Remember when Sully walks in front of my monitor? So. Anyway, yeah, that was just a rough team fight. It felt like your team just constantly kept going back and forth, and there was nothing that your team... So, I don't know. We'll see. Okay, where are you now? Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, is this where you mentioned? Okay, yeah. I gotta be real with you. The only advice I can give is look where your teammates are at. There's nothing else here that is too deep. It's just you just did that. That was your play. You just went that way. That's it. There's like no other like exciting advice I can give you here outside of pay attention to where your teammates are at every single team fight. If you need like a reset when you spawn up, or like just look where your team is. That's it. I got literally the only thing you got to do here is look where your team's at. Because all you did, you went off to I don't even know where. You were over here. You were looking for another point. I would just say look where your team's at all times, because that was something. You went on a journey. You went on a journey. Okay. Okay, that's it. I have a new thing for you, for your husband, and your son to practice. It's called, Are We Ready? Are We Good to Go In? One problem you're already running into is that you're all on a way different page. Straight up. Like, you're over off there kind of going for some random shots on somebody on the left side, trying to keep people alive, shoot some damage. Your son is going through the top up here, going for a limb with a shatter. Like, the point I'm making is y'all just aren't on the same page right now. So until you get on the same page, it's going to be really hard to be able to win these retake situations. The assumption I'm getting now is that you're really good at winning the first team fights. You struggle with the retakes. You just need to be on the same page. Like, you've had this Juno ultimate for a while now too. Like, let's go high ground. Let's go right here. And again, same concept I've talked about. If you Juno ult this, the only safe people is right here and right here. Everybody else in their team's kind of screwed. So you just got to remember that, right? Like, you have to be a little bit more together. Otherwise, you're just going to lose these team fights. Because, like, I don't know what the communication's like at that point between y'all, but, I mean, right now you're on a different page. And that is a big thing that needs to happen, is you need to get on the same page. Okay, where's everybody at? Watch where your teammates are at. Okay, there they are. Okay, Ramatra swap. I don't mind the Ramatra swap. I think that's okay, right? You kind of have tried to use that. Okay, I imagine this is where the 2-year-old is climbing on you. That's the only thing I can imagine. Okay, again, that one is something I can't... There's nothing advice-wise I can give on that one except, well, unlucky. that has to be what that is, by the way. There's no other way that isn't what that is. Yep. Yeah, you're button masher now. This has to be the moment, because you're button mashing. But, again, the only problem I'm watching happen right now is everybody keeps going in one by one. Now, I understand, like, maybe the Sojourn wanted to be able to tap the... Oh, God. Am I watching two different games right now? Okay, are you ready? Here's my take. It is okay to save your ultimates for the next point. Now, granted, your ultimate did cause a bit of an ult snowball, so technically that was actually a good play. I'll be real with you. Like, I don't like the Juno ult there, but it actually worked in your favor, which is giving your team an opportunity to take this game down. Your one ultimate set off 4. So, like, it worked out. All right, good kill. Okay, listen. I'm noticing a trend. If you win a team fight, you know how to play Overwatch. You play it just fine. When you don't win a team fight, everybody scatters around the map and doesn't know where to go. It's basically, you go from working as a team, as a core, to basically taking individual fights away from, like, everything else. So, like, that's mainly a lot of the problem. What time is the do collab drop today? 2 p.m. Eastern. So let's keep watching and we'll see. Yeah. It really comes down to this. It feels like you just... It's going to be... This is actually a really easy fix for, like, your crew here. It feels like you don't know how to hold a choke. Straight up. It really feels like, as a team, like, whenever you're playing, these small hallways are, like, your biggest weakness. Straight up. I'm actually surprised you even won the first team fight. It just feels like whenever you have an advantageous position to make a play, for example, Junker Queen ultimate, I'm pretty sure, let me just double check here. Yep. So what could have happened here, this is exactly what I'm thinking, is you play together as a core back here, where you're at, right? You basically build your Queen ultimate, and then the moment they get through here, you pop your ultimate. That's it. Instead... Your son plays really far up. You play really far back. You have a Cassidy over here who just got back from probably getting rolled for the 4th team fight in a row because of playing different angles. You have a Genji over here who is inspecting the tires. You know, a mechanic, you know, during the day, hero at night, right? And then you're just over here. And all you did was give them free space. Let the Junker Queen get rolled, okay? Let the Junker Queen get rolled, which is, you know, playing too far up and playing too far back, both of you. And then instead of having like basically a slam dunk advantageous win here with a Queen ult, you let your Queen get grinded down, you're playing back here in the middle of the open. So a lot of it has just come down to, you just need to get on the same page. But right now, no one's on the same page, right? Also, Spider Lily, thanks for the 14 months of the tier 1. Good morning to you too. So, I'm not worried about their aim. I don't even think this is a mechanics issue for the most part. I believe this is just it's just a teamwork issue, straight up. And when you're in a 3-stack, like, you can kind of, if you're playing the tank and the support, you can kind of dictate some really good team fights, even if your DPS are on off angles. So it's something to keep in mind. Okay, I don't mind the right click. You're speedrunning your Cassidy. Okay, honestly, this actually is a good play by you. Yeah, good angle. Yes, there we go. Aggressive play. Make sure your teammates are good. Uh-huh. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Again, you have a 4v2 situation. Why are half of you trying to cap the point, and why are half of you pushing into their team? Here's the problem. What happens when 2 of you push the point and 2 of you push the other team? You've now created a 2v2. And what would be a 4v2 in that situation, right? Because you're Mizuki running back for spawn. Your team decides to, again, break apart and go take isolated team fights. Listen, I'm all for cleaning up kills and team fights, right? But if you can't do it without losing 2 people, there's no point. Now they're going to come back with an advantage of a 4v3. So now you're down in numbers again, and what would have been a pretty clear-cut team fight win with the ability to have Blade ready to go for the next team fight. Look at 75% here. Your teammates go in and feed. You're not there to help because you wanted to get the point. Again, you're on different pages. This isn't even a Flashpoint issue. This is just like when it gets down to like the battles that you need to have and like the backing up and then going aggressively, you're just not doing that. Straight up. Like your team just basically gave them an isolated 2v2. So now you have basically one team fight to decide who wins this game. And I felt like you would have had a Blade if your teammate was alive right now because you would be farming Blade and then eventually have it for this next team fight. We'll see what happens. What you should do now, by the way, is play safe until your teammates are back. It's one team fight to win it all. So don't even worry about trying to like contest the point here if you don't need to. You need to win the team fight regardless to win this. We'll see what happens. Okay, your teammates are back. Good right click. Your positioning's fine for now. Okay, now your queen's out of... Yeah. It's a teamwork issue. Pop your ult. No reason not to. Good kill. Do you win it? Even after all that, your team still wins it. So good job on that one. Listen, I'm going to be real with you. Y'all just need to get on the same page. That's really all it is right now. And until you get on the same page, you're going to have these problems that happen either way. What you need to do next time you sit there and you play with, like, you know, whether, you know, you're in a 3-stack with your husband and your son, or you're in like a you know, a duo together, you need to be on the same page. All it is that you're going 2 different ways. So I want you to start, one thing I want y'all to practice together is get a verification system going of, are you ready? And then once you get the response, I'm ready, then you start to work together. I think right now it's, you just kind of go separate directions all over the place, and then you're just on the same page. So just do a 1-step verification of, hey, by the way, I'm ready. You go, I'm ready, and then you go in together. That's it. And maybe set a plan too. Like, say you're in the 3-stack and your son's there, and you go, he has Shatter. You go, okay, we're here, we're ready. And then he verifies he's ready. You go in. That 2-second process can win you games. Can legitimately win you games. That 2-second process of just verifying. Because if I was watching that, if you were verifying that, that was off, right? So you need to just. This is. It's gonna sound crazy, but this is. It's funny because we're talking about. You said saving the marriage. It's kind of funny. This is a communication issue. There you go. You just got to communicate better as a team. We're on to the next part with a player in Diamond 4 playing Juno and Kiriko. And they say, hi, I've been playing a good amount of comp this season, and I feel like I've been stuck in low Diamond with a lot of back and forth. I started this game as Juno because I thought she'd fit the team comp better than Kiriko, even though I have more hours and confidence on Kiriko. I had some really rough moments as Juno, so I eventually made the swap to Kiriko anyway. I feel like I struggled with positioning a lot this game, and like I couldn't keep up with my team. We had a Sombra, Lucio, and Wrecking Ball that I couldn't seem to keep up with. I feel like my positioning and decision-making was not the best, and I'm not sure how to improve. The match range was higher than what I've recently been placed in, so I want to improve to play better with my team. I would appreciate any advice you can give me. My boyfriend and I have been watching your Spectating series during our lunch/dinner breaks for the past few months, and have always wanted to find a time where we could submit a request. Thank you. Wait a second. So I'm going from the married couple with 2 kids to the next one where they're submitting with their boyfriend. This is great. This is just great. What an awesome. This is great. I'm learning so much. Let's see what happens in this Atlas game. You said this can't be comp. No one votes for Atlas. I mean, I play Atlas all the time, and I play all these games in top 500 all the time. So technically, like I said earlier in the VOD, like if I play top 500 5v5 right now, all I'm doing is playing Flashpoint, push, and control. That's all we play. All right, here we go. Still waiting. So far, everything's fine. Teammates are up there. You had to drop down temporarily so you didn't get rolled. Your Winston's a little bit... Not your Winston. Your, the Wrecking Ball's being aggressive in the backline there. Winston's playing passive. So far, so good. I will say, if I was in this situation, I would not be the one dropping down to the low ground. But if I did, I'm getting right back to the high ground immediately. Like, don't get stuck down in this loop of just being on the low ground. Sometimes this happens where you drop down and then you just sit here and wait for people to come to you. Know your map. The moment you got this point, just go up these stairs and start helping again. Like, imagine being able to be on this off angle right now as Juno and get, like, a huge right click off to be able to help your team. That'd be sick, right? Combo it with, like, a Wrecking Ball. That'd be awesome. So, I do want to point out that I feel like you're doing a little bit of playing too safe down here after you've already won the team fight, and you can just go up here and help right away, so... What's up with... I just think it's like... I don't know. In top 500, the way that the mode is supposed to be played happens more frequently. In a lot of other ranks, it doesn't, and that just takes time. Like, I should probably do more of a breakdown of what I mean by that eventually. I would probably get out of here. Yeah. Okay. So, you should have been out of there much sooner. like, here's my take. The moment your teammate gets rolled there, if you don't see anybody in your team immediately run into their team to go for a straight up kill right away, which they didn't, you back up. Because you have to imagine now that once you lose your teammate, their team is going to take that space creation. Of course, it's not going to always happen, but you're in Diamond at this point. This could be even a Masters lobby at that point also. I don't know the exact range of the match, but I think you're playing a little bit too kind of like a statue there. And the moment that you see that play, if there's not an immediate trade, you got to back up. And I felt like you just stayed there a little bit too much. So, well, the thing with push in other maps is like a lot of it is not just sitting on the objective the whole time, and I feel like for the first couple of years of push, that's what it was. I think people have gotten better at it now, but in top 500, that's how we've been playing since basically it came out. So you basically fight off the point, you win the team fight, then you take your control. I think with push, sometimes that goes the wrong way, and that's where it gets to be a bit of a struggle. Barbarian, thanks for the tier 1. Thank you, appreciate it. Thank you. All right. Yeah, I mean, you didn't have to use your speed ring there because your teammates... Now, use a speed ring. Perfect. So, I want to point out, chat, the reason why you want to use the speed ring at that point is because you know that they've already, like, used a lot of their cooldowns on the other team, and right now is kind of your punchback moment. This happens in Flashpoint, push, etc., control, and pretty much Overwatch. But basically, it's your punchback moment. You survived mainly a Reaper ultimate. Your teammates have the ability to go in now with some low cooldowns on the other side, so you speed ring your teammates back in, so that way, like this Reaper, for example, who benefited from the speed ring, can now go to this Reaper here and be caught up, either forcing them back or putting them in a spot where they're forced to use, like, their Kitsune. So, just little things like this go a long way, so I did want to point out why that was probably going to be a good speedrun. Because now your teammates can get back on top of their team, and it forces like plays like this. Their Winston dives into your team, and unfortunately, your Reaper does lose the duel to their Reaper, but the idea was there, and I don't mind that. You're getting stuck on the low ground again, so in this situation, do not... Yep. Okay, this was good. I like flipping back. I just didn't want you to end up like being stuck there. Good job flipping it back up to the high ground. I want you to, again, remember, you do not need it. Yep, this is okay. You made the right play the first time. How come the second time you didn't do that, right? Because this is their Kitsune. They're going to benefit from this way more than you ever would because it doesn't benefit you. So go up here. Why not go up here? You can get the same sight lines. You need to win this team fight, so it's not like, you know, going up here is going to, you know, just ruin the whole team fight. Like, go up here and you have a bit of an angle and maybe a free kill on an Ana, right? And then if things start to go in favor of your team, you can slightly rotate this way and then do the same thing. So, like, I'm just pointing out to you that don't try to stay engaged in that team fight in the low ground when you can just go on high ground and get rid of that. So, anyway. You don't need to go to the point there. That's nothing more to put there. That's just kind of on you. I mean, it's not like a huge deal. You could have just been with your team. Yeah. Okay, we ready for a Juno ultimate at the choke here to deny them the space? I would say send it now. I would say send it. There you go. Yep. Even then, I think he did it a little bit too late. I talked about this in the previous VOD, watching a Juno. If you give them any option to get through that, like, that choke, that's what's going to happen. If you pop that prior, this might be a way different team fight. Because then the Onron ultimate probably wouldn't get as much value because you're basically ulting into the ult. The Onron ulted at the same time, so you ended up getting a little bit of that, like, you fell behind on the heals, and you couldn't do anything. Now you're on Kiriko Lucio. You probably have heard this. If you haven't heard this, Kiriko Lucio is still the OWCS meta as of right now. Keep in mind, we haven't seen the upcoming season, so it could be shifted out, which I think a lot of people are hoping for. But this is a normal team comp that I'm used to seeing all the time. Let's see what happens. You gotta use cleanse much prior than that. At the moment that Winston's on you, you gotta buy yourself that extra second to get the swift step. Again, I think you're a little bit all over the place right now when you're trying to... It just feels like you're all over the place. You just need to settle. Anytime I see this type of gameplay happen, and I have this happen to me sometimes when I'm on support, is like, you just need to settle. You want to be involved in these team fights, but I've had games where I'll have like... Does anybody ever have that support game where you have like 12 deaths and like 7 of them are because you try to get back to your team on basically a lost team fight, where you thought there might have been a chance, but there really wasn't a chance, and then you just keep going in? You should throw cleanses Winston's approaching. I would say if you're in a situation where you just use your cooldown, the cleanse will give you enough healing and like, basically give you enough HP and survivability to be able to get your swift step back. Yes, it's very cooldown based. So, I think in that situation, yes, it's obviously a hindsight play because, like, how often do you want to use a cleanse against a Winston? But if I'm in a situation where I TP to my team and I just see a Winston right in front of me, if I don't get healed, which you weren't going to get healed, then you're just going to fall over anyway. So, yeah, I think it's worth using the cleanse there because otherwise you're just going back to spawn. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's kind of like the problem there. Yeah. Yep, nothing's happening. I would recommend going on a bit of an angle here to do some damage. Like, you hear about taking angles and all this. Right now, okay, well, that wall is sturdy. I'm glad you were able to check. I was just wondering if that wall was sturdy enough, and it sure was. So thankfully, it's good to see. 42, thanks for the 9 months of the tier 1. Thanks, appreciate it. Thank you. Okay.
Nearly a year smile.
Updates at 2 p.m. Eastern, yeah. Good beat by your Lucio, saving you. Try to look for a target further away to TP to, but overall that Winston just made a good play on you. So, yeah, you described your game perfectly. You're all over the place. You just gotta settle. Just settle. Just settle. Just wait. Also, keep spinning that's kind of fun. Okay, now you're ready. Okay, the ball's there now. Okay, so what's the play? What are you gonna do here? So you can't keep up with the pace, right? I'll talk about something after this. There you go. Popping the ult. Okay, cool. Great job. Good play. Good aggression by your team. Good ultimates. Now, let's talk about this very quickly. Did you notice something there? Do you notice how you didn't teleport to your teammates when they went to the right side? You didn't just run into their team constantly and just keep going at them? What'd you do? You took an off angle with your Sombra. You did a bunch of damage to people distracted, and then you saved your teammates and TP'd to them when you needed to. You see how when you slow things down, things get a lot better right there? This is how Kiriko is generally supposed to be played, but there's a really rough spot with, and support players know what I'm talking about here. There's just times where, like, it feels really weird not healing your team. But you're starting to get into that ranked a little bit more, into that rank a bit more now, of like Diamond, going into Masters, etc., where like that kind of shifts a little bit, where you do more damage and you do less healing, and then you find the in-between, like that balance. And it felt like that balance right there on that team fight was great for you. Because you can't be with your Wrecking Ball. Your Wrecking Ball has to be self-sufficient. You heard that correctly. If you play Wrecking Ball, you have to be self-sufficient. Like, you can't rely on your team to heal you. If you get healed, it's a bonus. Straight up. Now, here's a heal you can give for Wrecking Ball, right? That's fine. But you should never feel obligated to go save that Wrecking Ball unless, like, a Sombra hacks the ball right in front of you and you can cleanse them, right? Like, right there, like, that's you're not gonna be able to help that. And see, this is why I'm saying that. You didn't even have to look at your Wrecking Ball right there. What were you gonna do? You see your 3 teammates in front of you, okay? The rest of your team is directly in front of you right here. There's a Wrecking Ball over here. They get Reaper ulted. What are you gonna do? You're gonna teleport to the Wrecking Ball and what? Get Reaper ulted? Or you teleport in and then you survive because of a cleanse and then fall over? No, you're gonna win this backline team fight. All you need to do is win here. Make their Winston, fall over right away. Stop worrying about, like, what's happening there, because, honestly, technically your Wrecking Ball probably is self-sufficient because their name is solo queue account. So, if you think about that. Anyway. I'm taking the objective. Yep. Okay. So, chat, what did the Kiriko do that time? Teleported into a group of people again and then died? You see the problem I'm saying here? Stop trying to get to your team over and over again. Slow it down. Every time you slow it down, it's gone well. Every time you get too aggressive, it doesn't go well. Just slow it down. Just for a second. There you go. Now you're with the team again. Okay. So, are you going to pressure the Winston? I don't know. We'll find out. There you go. Now the goal here is you survive the backline push, right? Okay, that cleanse was necessary for that moment. Boom, there's the EMP. There's the beat. And you just, couldn't get to the team fight, but that was a good aggressive play by their team. TTPing out. Everything seems fine so far. Okay. Okay, still plenty of time to win this. You're going to back away. Yep, here we go. Your gameplay loop is doing the same thing over and over again of, like, ending up in these team fights and just running in circles. You gotta stop putting yourself in small hallways. I know it's, like, enticing with the way your team's playing, but again, remember, you have a Wrecking Ball, which means that there's less of being able to go through those small hallways without falling over. You don't have that help from your Wrecking Ball for the most part. The Wrecking Ball is going to be backline pressure in most of the time. So, Kitsune in this would be the right idea from this top left corner, but you know Reaper has ultimate. So, good cleanse, good shots. Nice job. Pretty straightforward play. I don't mind the Kitsune in here. You need to win a team fight. Good kills. Do you notice how you slowed it down here and everything's fine? Like, it's night and day difference when you slow down your gameplay. It is night and day difference when you slow down your gameplay. I want you to start taking these team fight approaches a little bit more, I guess, methodical, rather than just like rush into the team fight. Right now is great. Yo, you can't be in the back line with your team there. You see your team? Do not go there. Do not go to that area. You do not need to be there. Like, that Wrecking Ball and what was it? Sombra or whoever was with them there. That's their battle there. They're gonna do that. Nice. Now get away. Now hide. Don't take any extra damage. Because they're going to dive you soon, and then you're going to... Okay, that works, I guess. Yep. Had to use that cleanse, unfortunately. Yep. Climb a wall in a second. I would have just, you know, in that situation, the Winston's main goal is to get you off the map, and you don't have your... Swift Step yet, just wall climb that. Make it harder for the Winston to get you, so that way they have to use a leap to get up to you once, which will give you the time to get your Swift Step back. It didn't matter there, but those moments can matter in ranked games, so just be careful. That was an ambitious EMP that got nobody. Cleanse is fine. I don't mind that. Keep in mind, the reason why I said that is because they just were low. Like, it was... Teammates could have died there. Okay. Reset it. You talking about never throws the cleanse of the team? My man, if you're throwing cleanse of the team on cooldown, there's a problem there. Don't get me wrong, you're going to use it on your teammates, but like you cannot use that as much as you are wanting them to use that. Is all I'm saying. Like it's also really quick beat by your Lucio again. I feel like we just saw your Lucio pop beat the team fight before. Remember? Like that was crazy. Okay, that actually went further than I thought it was going to go. And you don't have to worry about the ult. I don't love the ult. Truthfully, I would have loved it if you turned the ultimate this way. I think this would have been more beneficial to your team than this small angle here because, like, look how many more people are involved in that team fight, right? So I would have liked to see you just, like, flip it this way and see if that worked. But, I mean, all hindsight, right? Okay, let's see what happens. I think that's it, right? You just lose the game unless your Sombra pops off. That is it, okay. So before this pauses, this is a less is more moment for you, and I've been giving that advice a little bit more nowadays. You're trying to do too much. You're doing exactly what I've done before when I play support and I just end up farming death count. You're just constantly trying to get to the team. You're constantly TPing in without knowing what the situation is. That's one of my biggest issues is like you just TP in like, oh, my teammates need help. Let me TP in. Then there's a Winston right there. Here's the truth. You just got to slow it down. Every time you slowed your gameplay down and you took an angle and you just worked with one of your other teammates, it went great. Every time you try to keep at the pace of what your other teammates were, which, by the way, was a Wrecking Ball and a Sombra, which, by the way, you don't want to be with those. You don't want to be in the backline with them unless, like, your goal is to teleport out and you get there by going there yourself, right? Not teleporting in. So I want you to start to practice something of less teleporting into your teammates without any information. If you have the information, great. You can make that decision. But if you have no info and you're just teleporting back, that's how you farm, you know, death count like that. Actually, I don't even know what your death count was. 11 deaths, yeah. I mean, you have the, you know, the tied for the highest death count in the lobby on a hero that, you know, is known for a little bit less of that. Like, look at their Kiriko, for example, playing a little bit safer of a style, of course, right? 5 deaths. So, as somebody who has gone through that up and down of learning that on Kiriko, just remember, if you lack the information of going to an area, why TP in if, like, you know, if a team fight's already happened, of course, if your teammates are just sitting there waiting for you, TP. But, like, why go into a situation where you see a teammate at half HP, your other teammates are running back from spawn, and you just teleport in and then die anyway? Got to work on that a little bit, but slow things down. I'm telling you, if you just slow some things down, let the game kind of process in front of you, it will get so much easier for you. I'm telling you. You have a lot of good here. Every time you slowed it down, it went great. So that's my biggest key of advice here. I think you do that, you're going to be fine. All right, you got this. You absolutely got this. Both of you got this because this is a double recording. Everything's going to go well. But yeah, if you like the video, make sure to like button, subscribe to the YouTube. If you haven't, leave a comment. All of that helps. If you want to watch, if you want to submit your own, my Discord's where to do that. And if you want to watch more of these, we're going to have a video pop up here in the bottom left or right, or a box to my side or something. I don't know. Click it. It's going to be a good one. With that being said, I hope you all have an amazing day / night.